Jacob starts dying laughing. Like, he had to run out of the room from how much he was laughing. Everyone started laughing, obviously. What's good, you guys? So I am back again with a story time. This story time is gonna be the most embarrassing moment of my life. Like, of my life. Like, oh my god, just thinking about it is so embarrassing. But obviously I don't care now. Like, that happened that long ago. It's whatever. So, oh my god, so but let me just get right into it. So when I was in high school, I was a delinquent. Like, I'm so sorry about it. I can't tell you how I graduated high school. I have zero clue because I never did my homework. I never did anything. I didn't study for tests. I never read the books. I just finessed my way through high school. I went to classical high school. Shout out to Team Classical. Anybody who went to classical between the years of 2010 and 2013 and a half, because some of 2014 were cool, but as a whole, y'all are a dub. But from 2010 to 2013, it was lit. And half of the time, I wasn't there. Like, I just wasn't. My friend Nixon, I know he's going to watch this video, so hi, Nixon, shout out to you. My friend Nixon used to literally get, like, the school attendance records. I don't know where he would get them from, but he would get them. And the days I would come to school, he would read how many absences that I had, like, accumulated up to that point in time of the school year. Anywho, so instead of going to school, I was going to hooky parties. I had a friend in high school. It was my best friend in the whole world at that time. I'm gonna name her Carol. Me and Carol was BFFs, like ride or dies. Like, if you saw one, you saw the other, or if you thought of one, you thought of the other off rip. And she never went to school though, ever. Like, when I say that I never went to school, I mean, like, she literally never went to school. It was like an eclipse if she was at school. But she had a reason why she wasn't in school. I'm obviously not going to tell that reason because that's not my business to tell. But she had a valid reason why she was excused from being at school often. So when her mother would go to work, she would just be home by herself all the time. So what I would do is my mom would drop me off to school or I would take the bus to school. I would go to homeroom and check in, and then I would just be out. Either my friends from Hope High School would come and pick me up, or I would take the bus to Carol's house. What we would do is once we got to Carol's house, we would chill. Sometimes we would get breakfast, like keep it real cute. And then as soon as 11 a.m. hit, we would go to the liquor store. Carol has a sister, an older sister, who looks just like her. Like, they look like twins almost, except her sister at the time was bigger. So it looked like the ID looked like it could be Carol if she lost weight. So her sister's ID had expired, and so she gave Carol the expired ID, and she just had her renewed license or ID on her. So we always had Carol's older sister's ID. So, and she was over 21. So we would always be able to get liquor when we were with Carol. So Carol and I would literally walk to the liquor store, which was not even 5 minutes away from our house. We would go in the liquor store and buy mad liquor, like crazy amounts of alcohol, and just have like a hooky party at her house. But most of the time, it would just be me, Carol, and our small group of friends from Hope. One day we decide we're gonna have like an ale hooky party. Like, this is gonna be the best one. Like, everyone's gonna be there because at this point Carol had transferred out of our school and went to another school, and she made like a bunch of friends there. And so she invited her friends from her new school. We invited our usual people from Hope. I was the only person from classical with the exception of my friend Omira. Me and her went together to Carol's house. So this day we were so excited. I'm gonna insert pictures from this day because it was a good day. It was a really fun day up until the embarrassing moment. So me and Carol, we walk to the liquor store, we buy a bunch of Four Locos, a bunch of 40s, because at that time that was me and Carol's drink. We used to drink 40s all the time, like disgusting. Like we were old men in South Central LA or something, like ugh. But Yeah, we used to drink 40s, Four Locos, another disgusting drink, and then I think we got like 2 little Henny bottles and something else. Everybody in the party, everyone at the hookie party had thrown down and like said what they wanted. So that's how we got the money for the alcohol. We all threw down on it, and me and Carol went to the store to go get it. So we come back and we've set up all the alcohol on the table. We take a picture of it and we just start drinking. When I say everybody in this house was faded, I mean everyone. Every single soul in this party was belligerent, like drunk drunk out of our minds. And so we're having the time of our lives. We're playing music in the basement. We're dancing to the music. We're just upstairs. We're playing like games. We're just talking to each other, laughing. Like, it was one of the most funny days ever. Like, oh my God, it was so much fun. Me and my friend Nicole and my friend Brianna, we hadn't seen each other in a long time, us three. And we used to all be really close. Like, me and Brianna used to be best friends since 6th grade. And me and Nicole at one point were best friends late in middle school and when I first got to high school, because I had no friends my freshman year of high school. And the only person I used to hang out with was Kilma and another one of our friends. And then Nicole and Brianna were best friends at one point. I think they even lived together for a little bit. Like, we had all been individually best friends with one another, and we all knew each other, and we were all cool. We go in a room, we're talking about how much we love each other, and how much we'll always be there for each other, and how much we miss each other. We're crying, like literally crying like babies about how much we love and miss each other and all this stuff. Like, so stupid. My friend comes in the room and she's like, "Are you guys serious? Like, stop crying. Like, we're having a whole party. Like, chill." And then we're like laughing because we're realizing, like, why are we bawling our eyes out right now? Like, it was just a mess. Everything that was going on was a mess. So here's where the embarrassing part comes in. So there was this kid who was at the party, and what am I gonna name him? Jacob. We're gonna call him. Have I ever named someone Jacob in a story? That name sounds familiar. I don't know, but we're gonna call him Jacob. Jacob was fine, guys. Like, when I say fine, I mean he was so fine. Like, yo, Jacob, if you see this and you know who you is, come through. I don't even want to say who he looks like, because then everyone who's watching this who knows Jacob will know it's him. But he looks like a certain celebrity who is fine, and he's just like a more hood version of this fine celebrity. Like, and he's just like, have you ever met somebody and they just have like sex appeal? Like, they just look like they know what they're doing, and they're just like confident, and it's not cocky, but it's like confident but borderline cocky, but not rude with it. Like, just a package. Okay, he was just a package. Me, Jacob, and like a bunch of other people, my friends, are in like a separate room from the rest of the party. We're all in there talking and chilling, and all the guys were in there smoking. So I'm just chilling, I'm standing up, and then I get sick of standing up. So in the basement there was this table, and it was wooden around the edges and then glass in the middle. And so I decided that I'm gonna sit on this table, because I forget who else was sitting on the table. I think it was Brianna, it might have been. But somebody else was sitting on the table too. And I'm like, yep, I'm about to sit on this table because I don't feel like standing. I'm too drunk to be standing up right now. And I just felt like sitting. So I sit on the table. I'm sitting there. I'm talking. I'm talking to Jacob. I'm talking to all my other friends who are in the room. I don't know who told me to sit on this table. I don't know why I thought that the table was going to support my big self, because I was bigger at that time. I don't know what gave me the confidence to sit on that table, because in real life, if I feel like something has the potential to break, even though 9 times out of 10 it won't, I will not sit on it. I won't even lean on it because I have such an irrational fear of something breaking because of my weight. Like in elevators, I freak out because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm big. Even though elevators hold like what, 700, 800, 1,000 pounds of weight, I like freak out when there's like a bunch of people in the elevator and me, and I'm just like, oh my god, if this breaks, like everyone's gonna think it was my fault, or it is gonna be my fault. So I don't know. I think it was the liquor that had me feeling like I was 2 pounds, but the table quickly reminded me that I was 100 times that. Okay, and it broke. Like it shattered, completely shattered with me sitting on it. And not only did it shatter, the person who was sitting on it with me was sitting like on the edge on the wood part. So as soon as it shattered, they got up. I was sitting on the glass. So when the glass shattered, I fell into the table. As soon as that happens, as I fall on the table and it like shatters, Jacob starts dying laughing. Like he had to run out of the room from how much he was laughing. Everyone started laughing, obviously. Then everyone starts to help me as they're laughing, but everybody's laughing. And like instantly, I just felt so embarrassed. Like, yo, when I tell you that is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me, I mean the most embarrassing. And maybe to other people it would just be like, whatever, like you fell on the table, but take into consideration that I was the biggest person in the party. I already was completely insecure about my weight and how big that I was. Some kid that I think is probably the finest person I've seen in years is there talking to me as this occurs. I also felt like horrible because I also felt horrible because if I remember correctly, Carol moved that table in there so it wouldn't break because it was like her mother's favorite table. It was like special to her mom. And I felt so bad because I'm like, great, now she's probably going to get caught or get in trouble because of me. Everyone is laughing at me because I just fell on this table. Everyone's probably just like, damn, like thinking about I'm thinking, everyone's probably thinking about my weight, like, oh my god, she's so like big that she broke the table. And like, I was just so overwhelmed, like so embarrassed that I started crying, like, not crying like how it was before early in the day where it was like a good cry. No, I was like bawling my eyes out, like hyperventilating, bawling. So I was like, I have to leave. I went upstairs and walked out the house. I started walking. My friend at the time, I'm gonna name her Sandra. My friend at this time, Sandra, gets in her car. She like drives next to me and she's like, stop, like where are you going? Like, no, just come back. Like it's not that serious. Like no one cares. And I'm just crying like and I'm like, no, everybody was laughing at me. Like it's so embarrassing. I broke the table. Da da da. I'm like crying my eyes out. Another one of my friends, Biscuit, he came over. He like ran over to me and he's like, yo, chill. Like it's not that serious. Like we're not laughing at you. Like if it would have been anybody, we would have laughed. Like it's not you. Like it could have happened to anyone. Carol's like trying to comfort me and she's like, kid, that table, that's why I didn't want anybody to like be on it or sitting around it or whatever because it would have just broken for anyone. It's glass. Like it's not you. Like you're overthinking it. My other friend at the time, who I'm gonna name Kevin, he comes up to me and he's like, well, if you're leaving, I'm leaving. And he's walking with me as I'm walking down the street. I don't know where the hell I was walking to because my school was mad far from Carol's house. There was no way I was taking the bus, as belligerent as I was. I was just like being dramatic and I was just really insecure and really embarrassed. And yeah, eventually they all like convinced me like it's okay, like just relax, like don't even think about it like that. Da, da, da. I go back to the party and then Jacob came up to me and he's like, yo, are you okay? Like don't cry, like it's like not that serious. And they were just giving me alcohol. They're like, here, just drink, you'll be fine, just drink, just drink. And then the rest of the party was cool. It continued. Everybody just started acting normal. It wasn't a big deal. No one made me feel a way about it. I still inside kind of felt down and embarrassed about it, but everybody else acted cool, so I just blended in and tried to act like I was all good when I really wasn't. I'm pretty sure I cried again when I went home that night. I was so embarrassed, so embarrassed. You don't understand. Like, just imagine yourself sitting in front of someone you think is so banging. Like, picture your celebrity crush standing in front of you talking to you and you sitting on the table and it breaks and you fall inside the table. So it's not even like it breaks and you could just get up and try to play it off. Like, no, you're stuck in the table. Like, multiple people had to help you get out the table. Only me. So I will see you guys on the next one. Love you so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below and share. Put your moms on, put your brothers and sisters on, put your friends on. Let everybody know that the Drunk Truth is lit. This is where it's at. This is where the party's at. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.